Buckle up for a royal face-off, as Princess Anne unexpectedly wields unyielding power to block Camilla's sister from attending a prestigious event. What secrets lie behind Anne's unwavering stand, and how deep does this royal rift go? Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. It was the eve of the grand gala, a centerpiece of the royal calendar, and anticipation crackled in the air like an oncoming storm. All eyes were on the majestic halls presiding over this opulent world, where tradition cast long shadows. Yet, amidst the bustling choreography of elegance, Princess Anne's announcement struck with the subtle force of a thunderclap. Her voice, deceptively calm but determined, reinforced her undeniable presence within the palace walls. No one could ignore the unrelenting ripple her decision unleashed. The corridors echoed with murmured disbelief and exchanged glances more telling than words. Hushed discussions passed between tapestried walls, each whisper adding to the tremor of movement that electrified the atmosphere. For this was not just a simple event, this was a firm stand, a revelation of a chasm running deep beneath the polished veneer of royal duty. Anne and Camilla's relationship had long danced on the edge of civility, a delicate balance maintained through years of unspoken tensions, and now this decision threatened to tip the scale. The timing of Anne's proclamation seemed painfully precise, a deliberate choice woven into the fabric of their familial ties. But why now? Why risk shaking the kingdom's steadfast image at such a critical juncture? It was a move both bold and provocative, aligning perfectly with Anne's reputation for defying expectation. Critics speculated, tongues wagged, and all the while, Anne remained inscrutable. She understood the gravity of her actions, aware of the arrows her decision might unleash, yet her resolve never faltered. As whispers of scandal took root, an undercurrent of drama stirred the palace, turning stately rooms into arenas lined with spectators anxious for the next revelation. The players of this royal stage must navigate a treasure trove of intrigues, each moment intensifying a mysterious knot of suspense. No one dared unravel too soon. As deftly as a chess grandmaster, Anne had positioned all around her in a game only she seemed to master. After all, this was no mere familial feud. This was a calculated declaration designed to illuminate much more than a single night's guest list. As the palace attempts to maintain a facade of grace, the royal corridors buzz with anticipation of the impending fallout. Delve into the annals of royal history to uncover the tangled web of secrets and betrayals that have embroiled Anne and Camilla in a decades-long feud. What incidents fueled this divide, and who were the players behind the quiet conflict? It is a tale steeped in whispers and shadows, where the corridors of palaces hide echoes of conversations never intended for the outside world. Anne, a steadfast monarch in her own right, marked by her resolute demeanor, had always felt a gravitational pull towards duty and heritage. But when Camilla entered the scene, the esteemed elegance of tradition found itself facing an unexpected challenge, one that came wrapped in bold charm and modern tact. Their initial encounter, destined to be the spark, was no less than theatrical. A collision of ice and fire, a clash of personalities both powerful and poised. In hushed corners of opulent rooms, the tension was palpable. Anne, with her staunch adherence to protocol, saw Camilla as an encroacher, a modern breeze through the hallowed halls of timeless duty. Camilla, meanwhile, embraced her newfound role with a flair that brought the layered veneer of the old guard into stark relief. Discreet affairs of public interest began to unfold into the grand theatre of a royal opera, marked by curt exchanges and calculated smiles. Historical accounts tell of their contrasting approaches to royal life. The unyielding rigidity of Anne's steadfastness contrasted sharply with Camilla's effusive adaptability. A fleeting comment here, a cold glance there, seemingly inconsequential at first, but royal observers noted these moments as signals of a brewing storm. Time, it seems, only added kindling to the simmering discord. As insiders attest, the power struggles within the palace were as quiet as they were formidable. Privileged confidants tell of meetings where laughter was a rarity, replaced instead by an unspoken strategizing that fueled the animosity. Such were the behind-the-scenes maneuvers that routinely went unnoticed by the public eye. The media, ever watchful, fanned the flames with gleeful abandon, spinning tales that compared and contrasted the two women with headlines designed to capture imaginations and sow discord. Each suggestive article, each insinuated rivalry, only sharpened the existing fissures that threatened the monarchy's carefully maintained veneer. No grievance was ever addressed openly, yet none went unacknowledged. The preceding decades were a testament to their mutual endurance, as neither woman yielded to the tidal forces that sought to break them, but like a volcano concealing its fury beneath a serene surface, the unchecked resentments began to build pressure, waiting to explode into the open. And explode they would, as the undercurrents of their rivalry inevitably clawed their way to the surface, demanding a confrontation, yet leaving the monarchy's illustrious traditions hanging in precarious balance. Emotional testimonies from royal observers paint a vivid picture of the fallout, a whispered documentation of power and pride, of tradition against transformation. Each conclusion drawn is merely speculation, yet each carries the weight of truth, known but never spoken, with such sentiments framing their every move. Both Anne and Camilla soldier on, unfazed by the chaos that swirls around them, but shaped by the very feud they cannot seem to escape. The titanic collision of ambition and legacy hangs like an ever-present shadow over their shared domain. With old wounds reignited, the question remains, will this royal rivalry disrupt tradition, or will it reinforce the ironclad codes of the monarchy? In the grand labyrinth of power that defines the monarchy, where whispers have the power to sway nations, Anne stands at the precipice of a bold declaration. Behind endless corridors of velvet promise and gilded deception, clandestine negotiations pulse with life. These alliances form the backbone of royal clout, tempting even the most noble to shed their facades. Anne finds herself ensnared in a web spun with silken threads and steely resolve, her path a tightrope strung between obedience and the burgeoning promise of transformation. Word of her determination to defy expectations sent ripples through the hallowed halls, like thunder whispering before her. Storm. Key figures, long hidden in the shadows of subterfuge, shuffle to reveal their allegiances. The castle, once a bastion of unity, now buzzes with the sharp edge of division as whispers of rumored deals traverse through secret passageways. Ally and adversary alike find themselves caught between ancient oaths of loyalty and the fresh promise of change. The air swells with debates as faces hide behind masks of civility, each one passing the lines of protocol and intention. Anne's inner circle, a motley tapestry of trusted advisors and unexpected supporters, weaves carefully around her. Their support underpins each decisive step amidst the tumultuous upheaval. Their counsel, whispered truths and fiery convictions bolster her spirit. They are the unsung architects of her campaign, a clandestine rebellion not waged in the open but fostered in the quiet shadows. Simultaneously, across the court, Camilla's camp, marked with an icy guise of poise and calculation, orchestrates a counter-offensive. With precision, Camilla maneuvers her strategies, each move a carefully calculated ripple intended to subdue Anne's uprising and maintain a delicate balance of power. Speculation flourishes like wildfire. The populace and press claw for scraps of inside knowledge. Will the Queen, austere and enigmatic, cast her shadow over this tumult? Her silence holds the nation in tentative suspense, as every nod, every glance, is dissected for hints of allegiance. Opinions diverge like brambles, twisting toward the light, each tangling belief carrying the weight of impending consequence. The monarchy now dances on the cusp of history, balancing itself on a pendulum set in motion by Anne's irrepressible momentum. Outside the castle walls, the media frenzy spirals into a hurricane of conjecture, scrutinizing every gesture, every tremor in the royal facade. Eyes that once revered now question. The glaring limelight exposes the vulnerabilities of a monarchy that once seemed infallible. The public, emboldened by the shadows of royal strife, watches with bated breath, daring to hope for a glimpse into the heart of the establishment that controls their realm. Lines of journalistic inquiry braid together, wrapping the royals in a tapestry of public discourse that shifts with each revelation. As battle lines are drawn, the monarchy must brace for the seismic shifts within their ranks. The once unyielding pillars of tradition now sway under the weight of impending change, their creaking echoing through the corridors of power, where alliances born of necessity rage against the inevitable dawn of transformation. Beneath the glimmering charm of the royal family, shadows hide secrets that could alter the course of the monarchy. Anne's shocking decision may just be the tip of the iceberg. The corridors of the regal palace are lined not only with gilded portraits, but also with whispers, each one a thread in the tapestry of deception that binds this family together. Long before Anne's defiant move, histories of betrayal ran like an ancient river beneath the castle floors, eroding the ties that once held this dynasty unbreakable. Brothers turning against brothers, treaties broken with a nod and a handshake, promises whispered in the dark. Such has been the foundation on which these halls were raised. Fractured family ties, once mended by mere formalities, have left ominous fissures that grow deeper with every passing year. Yet, it is not merely the royal lineage that weaves this sinister web. Hidden agendas lurk amongst the staff, whose discreet glances and hushed conversations betray more than simple admiration or duty. Influencers from the distant fringes of nobility whisper elegantly planned coups, each with smiles perfectly practiced for public appearances. Even within the family, suspicion casts long shadows. No spoken words, only the silent understanding that what glimmers on the surface may hide the midnight tides of ambition and betrayal. Through narrowed eyes, they watch each other, calculating and ever wary, as if engaged in a deadly game of chess where pieces could be crowned heads themselves. The emotional toll of royal life, which often plays out like a majestic performance on the world's grandest stage, is felt through interviews with confidence, those rare souls who have peered beyond the veil. They speak in careful tones, recounting the weight of the crown that presses not only upon the brow, but upon the heart. Each decision carries the echoes of history and the unrelenting press of future expectations. Behind the crafted smiles and graceful waves, solitude often sits as an uninvited and persistent guest. Revelations of memos and private conversations, once sealed in the invisible ink of discretion, now surface, hinting at deeper ruptures within the palace walls. Words exchanged in dim-lit corners, every sentence a piece of a larger, more sinister puzzle. Gossip that once appeared trivial now reveals itself as part of greater schemes, with confidences exposed and loyalties tested. Suddenly, the semblance of unity cracks to reveal festering wounds, born of centuries of secrets and lies. Suspicious actions amongst the royals suggest conspiracy, as if marionette strings are being pulled by unseen hands amidst the aristocracy. Mismatches of shoes, ill-conceived alliances, and lavish spending sprees override the sensibilities expected of noble blood. Every rumor, every hushed exchange a breadcrumb, leading not to a grassy knoll, but to chambers filled with blueprints of domination, each line inked with ambition. The monarchy teeters between opulence and the abyss, their legacy an offering upon the altar of destiny. Speculation mounts about how these secrets, like dormant seeds sown long ago, could blossom and alter the royal legacy. Imagine the descent of grandeur, the collapse of the pedestal upon which this esteemed family stands. Not with a roar, but with whispers magnified, until they reverberate across the court. The question hangs, an exquisite sword of Damocles over their heads. Will these revelations forge a new path for the crown, or shatter it beyond repair and recognition? As murky secrets surface, the stage is set for an explosive confrontation that threatens to disrupt years of royal tradition. In the grand ballroom of the palace, an opulent spectacle unfolds. The chandeliers blaze with a brilliance that mirrors the anticipation swirling in the air, casting glimmers of gold and silver across the sea of dignitaries, clothed in their finest. Noble faces, masks of decorum as ornate as their attire, conceal the simmering tensions beneath. The whispers, oh those whispers, subtle yet sharp, paint an invisible tension, a discord, threatening to crack the veneer of this illustrious gathering. Tonight is not just another soiree. It is the culmination of unspoken rivalries and untold grievances woven through parlors and backrooms, all threading toward a single knot of destiny. The hours leading to this moment were riddled with anxiety. The clock seemed to mock with its relentless tick, each second a drumbeat, underscoring the fragile calm before an inevitable storm. Behind the gilded curtains, Princess Anne wrestled with a torrent of emotions, not least the weight of an impending choice that could tilt the equilibrium of the crown. Her reflections were stirred with echoes of past transgressions and future possibilities. In her chamber, where the air hung thick with the scent of wisteria, she contemplated the ghosts of those who'd faced similar crossroads, their shadows overlapping Bull, with her own burgeoning resolve. This decision was more than a mere act. It was her legacy, etched in lines written with every beating heart in the room. As the first guests arrived, a breeze of expectation swept the hall. The collective inhalation of breath was almost audible, as if the very walls leaned in to absorb every expression, every betraying glance. The event was a candle-lit stage set for a drama no one dared to script, but everyone awaited, teetering on the cusp of revelation. Anne herself, cloaked in regal composure, surveyed the gathering horizon, acutely aware of the stares resting upon her, each one a silent inquiry lined with hope, apprehension, or disdain. And then it happened. In one sweeping motion, Anne stepped forward, her figure searing itself into the memory of those assembled. Silencing even the most obstinate of murmurs, she executed a gesture so profound in its simplicity that it commanded an electric silence. Holding a jewel-encrusted dagger aloft, she let it fall. Its clatter against the marble floor, a note of finality. In that moment, the room quaked with disbelief. Her decision etched into air as if with fire. Gasps quivered through the crowd, some agape in horror, others captivated by a queenly poise that had just reshaped their world. The ramifications of this unprecedented encounter cascade through royal channels. What consequences will ripple through the palace next? The reverberations of Anne's audacious declaration rippled far beyond the palace walls, sending a seismic jolt through the corridors of power and the very heart of public consciousness. News outlets around the globe seized the narrative, their headlines ablaze with speculation and intrigue. Public opinion split like a fissured rock. Some hailed her as a maverick braving the stifling conventions that had bound her lineage for centuries, while others reviled her for disturbing the sacrosanct order. Social media ignited with debates, hashtags trending as armchair analysts dissected every word of her address, every nuance of her demeanor. Amid the clamoring voices stood a monarchy grappling with its reflection, fragmented and trembling before the stark reality of change. Inside the royal enclave, emotions ran molten beneath the surface, each member grappling with the gravity of Anne's defiance. The hallowed halls echoed with whispers of betrayal and whispered hopes for redemption, the air thick with an unspoken understanding of the lines now drawn through blood and legacy. Tradition's firm hand quivered as hierarchy teetered, power shifting like sand under a restless tide. Anne, once a figure adorned in familial bonds, found herself a powerful spectre, her actions challenging the delicate balance of reverence and authority that had governed their existence for eons. Scrutiny pierced the veil of royal mystique, casting stark parallels between this rupture and past royal schisms that had once captivated the world's gaze. Yet this was not mere history repeating, it was history evolving, pushed forward by an unrelenting societal tide, demanding authenticity over opulence. Speculation grew over the future of familial engagements, the public eagerly anticipating the tapestry of new alliances and estrangements. The customary pomp and pageantry of public appearances threatened to become battlegrounds of unspoken tensions and strategic reconciliations. Royal experts, seasoned in the art of legacy interpretation, proffered insights into the potential long-term ramifications of Anne's gambit. Would this bold upheaval fortify the monarchy, forcing it to modernize and embrace a more transparent union with its subjects? Or would the fissures grow, destabilizing an institution both venerated and vilified? The legacy of this royal family, once thought unassailable, now teetered on the edge of reinvention or ruin. As pundits and loyalists alike pondered these weighty questions, the monarchy stood at a crossroads, its path forward fraught with uncertainty and the tantalizing promise of renewal. As the dust settles, insiders whisper of a clandestine resolution already in the making, gain exclusive insights into whether this royal clash signals the end of an era or the beginning of a new chapter. How will these events shape the monarchy and its next generation? as the sun sets over the ancient palace, casting elongated shadows that play beneath regal archways. Whispers of speculation ripple through the public consciousness. The nation holds its collective breath, eyes wide with anticipation and dread. In the candlelit hallways of power, discussions echo, rich with tension and uncertainty. Murmurs speculate if the recent turmoil represents a pivotal moment, a moment that could either fracture the centuries-old institution beyond repair or herald an era of reconciliation and renewal. The kingdom's gaze shifts to Anne, her strength and silence enigmatic. Some tutor as the potential linchpin for healing, weaving the threads of tradition and modern mindfulness into a tapestry strong enough to withstand the future's challenges. Yet others wonder if her influence is poised to expand or falter, leaving them questioning whether she will rally the royal family into unity or witness its dissolution like sand through her fingers. Meanwhile, the younger generation stands on the precipice of transformation, etched with ideals of change yet bound by ancestral duty. The aftermath of the duel, both symbolic and perilous, has left them grappling with their identities, poised to lead or ready to renounce the weighty shackles of legacy. It's whispered amongst them that with change, even chaos, comes renewal and an opportunity to redefine what it means to wear the crown in a world that demands transparency and tangibility. Across the land, royal watchers, seasoned and speculative, offer predictions ranging from hopeful reunification to the perpetuation of royal discord. They ponder openly, will this chapter close with the echo of understanding, leaving a legacy fortified by lessons learned, or will it continue, spiraling further into the annals of tumultuous history? The monarchy's legacy teeters in the balance, a pendulum swaying between relics of its illustrious past and the fresh dawn of its awaited future. Tidings of optimism and restoration compete with echoes of skepticism and intrigue. As we ponder the monarchy's path forward, whispers of a newfound harmony begin. Or is it merely the calm before another storm? The audience stands at the brink, poised between expectation and foreboding, as secrets yet untold linger on the horizon, promising either solace or upheaval. As we conclude this riveting chapter, consider how Anne's decisive action has redefined her legacy and the monarchical narrative. In her steadfast resolve, Princess Anne has etched a mark not only on her own path, but upon the broader canvas of royal history. It is an indelible moment crafted by years of unwavering duty, quiet strength, and an unflinching commitment to principle over placation. These defining moments, which heralded a shift in the winds of change, now steer the conversation surrounding royalty into uncharted waters of ethical authenticity and contemporary relevance. Public discourse, once bound to the velvet confines of admiration and decorum, now embraces a more dynamic engagement, one where accountability and solidarity hold equal reign alongside ceremonial grace. This incident, though tempestuous, has ignited a dialogue that may well shape the monarchy's narrative for generations, the stories recorded hence. Forth in the annals of history will speak not just to the actions themselves, but to the courage it took to plant fresh seeds in venerable soil. Princess Anne's choice has sent ripples beyond the echoing halls of palatial estates, inspiring calls for progressive change, grounded in transparency. Her legacy boldly suggests reinvention, a clarion call to embrace evolution within one of the world's most enduring institutions. Whether these changes manifest as whispers of reform or resounding declarations remains to be seen. But Anne's influence opens new paths, possibilities of a monarchy that adapts even as it honors tradition. Emotionally, the personal costs to Anne cannot be overlooked. The solitude of defiance, the friction of familial bonds tightened amidst public scrutiny. Such burdens weigh heavily upon her shoulders. Yet in these moments of quiet reflection, where duty dances with destiny, Anne's resolve becomes a beacon for her loved ones and the people she so profoundly serves. So, in these reflective musings, we oscillate between tradition and transformation, pondering whether it is the constraints of history or the courage to step beyond them that will guide the royals henceforth. As the royal saga unfolds, each decision crafts a new tapestry, one woven with threads drawn from both past splendor and future promise. In this realm of fate and serendipity, the royal saga continues, each choice weaving a new tapestry in the historical narrative.